Hello dear friends. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like, comment and share our videos to reach to as many people as possible. Thank you. My name is Kate and today I'm going to share with you a story of a haunted house I once lived in. I didn't know that the place we choose to live in, especially those of us who are hustling in cities, can affect our entire lives. Well, I had moved to this new city as a student. I used to live at an hostel not far away from our campus. Hostel life is not the best one. I was sharing a room with 3 other ladies. Among all of us, I was the youngest. They had even given me a nickname. As days went by, I was getting conversant with the city. I began sending job applications here and there. I finally landed a job as a cashier in a big restaurant. The first thought that came to my mind was to find my own place, to live independently from hostel dramas and privacy issues. That marked the beginning of my house hunting journey. The first house I landed into was a small cube that could only fit my bed and a cooking stove. Before I was given a chance there, the owner, an old lady dressed in a black scarf, asked me if I was married. She went ahead to tell me that I couldn't bring a man into her house. With all the restrictions, water was a major issue. The taps were always dry, the electricity bill was shared among tenants, and you can imagine the headache. It had no wardrobe, and I remember I had bought the portable one. One day my elder sister visited and my nephew thought my wardrobe was the best place to play hide and seek. When I came back from class, I found all my clothes on the floor. The place was always dirty and I could from time to time do the cleaning on the stairs and corridors. I didn't live there for too long due to unending issues. I decided to shift to a better place. I was looking for a neighborhood with modern houses. I could look at how girls in those places were dressed. That was by then a very key factor to me. Security, of course, and how pimp the buses along those routes were. Don't mind about the characteristics of my ideal place. I landed into this house, which was by then unfinished. It was an apartment, but the owner was doing the finishing. Since I was not in a hurry, I decided to pay booking fee so that they could reserve a 1-bedroom for me. At least I was getting into a new house with an unused toilet. If you know what that means. I waited for like 2 months and then I was called to go and occupy my new home. By this time I had gotten another job at a microfinance. I began to sense unusual things happening in my house after 3 months or so. I started having these weird dreams, like someone was touching me. Quite oftenly I could wake up as if I was with a man. As if that was not enough, I could feel the presence of unusual beings in my house, especially at night as I was sleeping. There is this day I came home after a long day at work. I decided to sit in my living room and watch 1 or 2 episodes of my favorite movie. Just as I was staring on my TV, the channel was changed to something else. Remember, I was just alone in the house. I don't know if I was dumb or something, but I was not sharing all these with anyone. I was just keeping it to myself. My boss all of a sudden began to hate me. He could blame me for any bad thing that happened in our office. He then began to hold my salary for months and months. My type of landlord was not the stubborn one. He never called or knocked on my door asking for rent. I also confirmed that he did that to most of the tenants. The apartment was full of bachelors and young married people who were jobless. There were no kids. Women could get pregnant and miscarry. 1 year down the line, a lady who was living on a floor below mine committed suicide. That case just went underground and the police didn't take it seriously. Within 2 weeks her house was already occupied by another tenant. That though raised eyebrows, and the other tenants began to notice that there was a problem. Even with that realization, we still stuck there like the occupants of the lost Malaysian flight. Nobody left. My dating life was unexplainable. A man could take months trying to hit on me, but the very minute I showed interest, he could block me everywhere and disappear from my life. I was this beautiful lonely girl who, if not at work, I could just be indoors doing cleaning. As days went by, I developed a weird infection. I had this smelling discharge which got me really worried. I ran from hospital to hospital, but I couldn't get any help. I even tried witch doctors and finally decided to try going for deliverance. All this was in vain. Things were getting out of hand, but I dared not share with anyone, though my elder sister was living nearby. On this fateful night, it felt like a dream. I heard a male voice call my name, Kate, and I felt as if he was walking towards me with a walking stick. Within no time, I heard someone climb on my bed. I couldn't do anything. I was in some sort of sleep paralysis. I heard someone touch my breast. I struggled to call Jesus, but it wasn't leaving me. Eventually I came out of the nightmare. Funny enough, there was this excruciating pain on my left breast. I became so desperate and didn't know what to do. Eventually, I decided to walk to my sister's place to go and seek help. I took almost 2 hours, a distance that I could have covered in less than 10 minutes. Finally, I reached my sister's place and shared with her all what was happening to me. She was very shocked. She even began to get afraid of me. My sister's house help, who was an elderly, God-fearing and prayerful woman, prayed for me and the pain disappeared. I then decided to go back to my house and continue with my life. This time I had gotten a friend by the name Ryan, whom we were living in the same apartment. As we were chit-chatting, he opened up to me what he was going through. Ryan had gone through far worse experiences than I did. His girlfriend, whom they were living together, had just miscarried. He again had lost his banking job. He told me that as he slept with his girlfriend, another woman would come in between them, that I came to realize was a spiritual wife. He also shared how they could experience mysterious knocks on the door, especially when it drizzled. When they opened the door, there was nobody. I remember how I could experience strange phone calls. I mean, sometimes I could hear my phone ringing, but when I went to check, there was nothing. One day I was super stressed because of rent arrears. I had some money with me and I just needed few dollars to make the full payment. When I came back from showering, I found the balance on my dressing table. Money was delivered to me and my rent worries solved. I now believe it was a mutual game. The same person who brought me money took my things. Up to date, I lost clothes from that house and never saw them again. I lost valuable jewelry and shoes. I was always suicidal because of the frustrations I was going through. I didn't even wish for the night to approach because I never slept. Immediately I closed my eyes and fell asleep. I could hear someone on top of my bed, a man to be precise. After finishing whatever he wanted, I could hear him snoring just beside me. Remember, all this time you are in sleep paralysis and can't even move. They say there is light at the end of the tunnel and God works in unexpected ways. One day, my nephew got very sick. His temperatures went as high as 40 degrees. That happened on Saturday night. We visited all the hospitals around, but the situation was not getting any better. The following day, early in the morning, as we were going home from hospital after spending a sleepless night there, we heard this church singing and praying. It was just in our neighborhood. Many a times when we could just pass by as we went to town, but never bothered to enter there. But this fateful day, we decided to go there and cry out for my nephew's healing. We had not even freshened up. We were tired and I can remember I had not even combed my hair. I carried my nephew straight to the altar and started praying and crying to God for his healing. My nephew was prayed on and he received instant healing. He has never had that problem again 10 years down the line. I didn't know this was all a disguise of God calling me into salvation and my healing journey. We began attending that church and my deliverance journey began. Apparently I was initiated into Marine Kingdom and married to a spiritual husband. Let nobody lie to you that deliverance is a one-time thing. It needs a lot of patience and dedication to prayers and fasting. My deliverance journey took 3 years of constant prayer, fasting and offering my body to the service of God. The first step in my deliverance journey was to shift from that house with immediate effect. I prayed to God to lead me to a safe house this time, and He surely did. Again, I didn't just go and began living there. I called my pastor to pray first and dedicate my house to Jesus. I came to realize that not all landlords or landladies are good. Some sacrifice in their building foundations and make covenants. The spirits benefit them from their tenants. No wonder people were jobless, women could miscarry, and nobody had a solid relationship. I took Ryan to our church together with his wife, and they were also delivered. They actually moved to a different city and they are blessed with children. Ryan got a very good job with the government. Today, after going through hell, I am healed. I am married to my God-given husband and I have kids, Cindy and Joel. Always pray before moving into a new house. If possible, make a sacrifice to the altar of God so that you may be protected from the foundational covenants of your house owner. If you are a house owner, build your house on the foundation of God. Have you ever experienced something similar to mine? Please share it in the comments section. May God bless you.